Okay, take two, as they say. Okay, right. So I'm 64 today. I was wrapped up warm because I just went outside in his taters. And 64, you say? God, you look so young. Nah. And I think at 64, you've got the right, my perception, I've been wrong since 1991, that you can say what you want, do what you want, and generally not give a fuck. Others might, oh no, now my cousin's here. Now I got to really curtail the language. So, yeah, a few people watching. I almost feel like a film star. How'd you get rid of all this? Obliterating my screen? Who knows? Anyway, and I'm not answering anyone as such because I answer all the time. So this little video is in essence, happy birthday, is in essence to say what's been going on, I think, my past year. It won't be long. A lot of you probably already bored. Probably got other things to do. Let's talk about me. So it was last April, I believe, April the 17th. Well, put it this way. I'll be very quick as I can. So this time last year, I was really coughing pretty badly. And I was sweating like a paedophile next to a nursery every single night. Made females on their menopause look like nothing. We've all had a few of them. And then, of course, I went to my GP. She's fantastic, the one I dealt with a lot. And they thought it was TB because driving a black cab, you're in close proximity of that mob that probably bring it over. That's you Somalian pirates. Let's have it right. Check the figures of the Somalian brethren them. So anyway, they thought it was that. Cough, cough, cough. Really felt like a bag of shit. March was in Malaga for a week with a few friends. That's another fucking story. But anyway, got back. Round about April, they then sort of wanted to do some tests with the lymph gland. And they took it out. That was a bit painful. I was a bit of a wimp for that one. Well, no, the biopsy. Because then you're on the slab. And I remember a Greek guy. He took it, Greek doctor. That was a bit painful. Then I'm going to fast forward. And by the way, I've really got to get this one in before. The NHS is fantastic. Everyone has their own experience. Mine has been 100% plus more, and hopefully will still carry on. So anyway, So then they diagnosed at first non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, form of cancer. Then they decided it was the better one. That sounds fucking bad. Hodgkin's lymphoma, stage 3, T-cell, blah, 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 blah. So I was with my daughter, my ex-wife, when we diagnosed it. Well, actually, the first time I was with my daughter. I always remember saying to Dr. Peng, part of the oncology team, and Dr. Pengali, the older woman, and she was Dr. Peng that was there, I said, so she said, do you want to come in now or start the treatment on the Monday? So I looked at her with this face, happy-go-lucky face. I went, now, do you know what? I think the weekend's coming up. I'll do a couple of lines of Charlie and get smashed on some, beer. She took me seriously. But anyway, come the Monday, I didn't, by the way. Way too old for that shit. Just say no, kids. So what happened is, my memory is hazy. That's another side effect of being chemo. So initially, this is the treatment which they gave me specifically. Everyone is so different in their treatment. So what happened was then that they said you're going to have 6 rounds of chemotherapy, pretty intense. You'll come in, you'll be hooked up. I called what I was hooked up to my mistress, because you never leave it. So you're there with 5 or 6 days hooked up to the drip 24/7. Can't really do a lot. Flooding the chemo to destroy the bad shit in you. Then they said you'll go home for 2 weeks, maybe 3, or depending how you respond, come back, and you're going to do 6 treatments of that. That's the first thing. I was fortunate in my recovery rate. I was back every one after about 7 days, 8 days. I was back. I was fit enough to come back. So boom. So having this treatment in there every week, then you go back for the follow-up in the blood clinic, well, not the blood clinic at that stage, but the oncology unit to see what's going on, if it's being destroyed, the cancer. By treatment 4, they were out of 6. They were very pleased. It was in full remission. They were very happy with the figures. But with this type of cancer, because typical me, it's a cunt of a one in a sense, what they do, you still do the 6 treatment, then they do stem cell therapy. I won't bore you with it because a lot of it still goes over my head, which initially is after I had my 6 treatments, everything's sort of fine and dandy. You then wait a month at home, go back, and they drain blood, your pure blood, your good blood out of you. I went to another unit, that's Dr. Klammer, fantastic guy, and they drain the blood from you, freeze it. I don't even, do you know what? Let's cut to the chase. So they take more blood out of you, freeze it, that's your good blood. Then I had to go back in for up to a month of isolation in October, which is essentially putting back the good blood for the cells to get the platelets to go up. Okay, right. So if you're with me, if you want to know anything, you can always fucking text me. Blah blah blah. So then I was in their October isolation unit, had this good stuff put back into me, and now this is almost coming to my 3rd month of where I am now. Everything's going, fingers crossed, okay with the new blood. It's still it's still a long stage, like most cancers are, I guess. As I said, I'm in full remission. It's gone, but now it's my body readjusting. You know what I mean? To the infused new me. I'm still an arsehole. So, and other than that, everything's looking up. It's been a phenomenal year in many private ways as well. You know, my daughter helped a hell of a lot. My ex-wife, Florence, absolutely superb. All the kids, close circle of friends. And that's probably a lot of things that I can only say for me personally, every person that goes through this kind of shit has to deal with it differently. Who they tell, not because they're snobbing people, but believe me, when you go through it, it can be quite draining, that amount of people wanting to know X, Y, and Z. So you keep it to a low number. And even then that you get your bad times when you just get fucked off with people. How are you? How are you? I'm fucking great. Come and have some chemo, bitch. But I mean, to be honest, my experiences so far, touch some wood, I never went through a lot of those nauseous or violently sick thing. And all I will say, and I will never sort of preach to anyone because shit, I was fit. I wouldn't say super fit, or was that clean? The moderate lifestyle. Maybe it was my level of fitness that's helped. I don't know. Shit can happen to anyone. But you remain as positive as you can under the circumstances. And it's probably my fucking philosophy now. And I'll do... It's similar to the job that I had, which was driving a black cab for 35 years. And I wouldn't even dream to go into, to even think along those lines of going back to it. Because, fuck it. 35, thanks Gwen, 35 years, you know, was more than enough. How can I put this? And it is an age thing, which only when you get to a certain age, if you get to that stage where you see the bigger sort of, you know, the bigger picture of things. Whatever job you do, whatever way it works out, good, bad, indifferent, you've always got a choice. But I think just try and be happy. Don't be bitter, twisted. And I could write the book on being bitter and twisted and a son of a bitch. Maybe you have to go through a certain thing. Well, you go through certain experiences and you learn. But essence, what I was saying about the job, and it was a black cab and it gave me a good living to a certain degree. And then, as we know, well, let's forget the politics. It's just, that's quite depressing. It is what it is. But I can still look for the future in an upbeat way. As I said, 60's the new 40. But you've got to remain positive and you've got to embrace those close around you and just chill and relax. And I hear things, and it's funny, when I was in St. George's that time for the first bouts of chemo, the World Cup was on, everyone was having a great time, and you looked out and it's 34 degrees in that ward then. Fuck it hell. NHS, fantastic staff, fantastic for me, down the line recover, how they helped me recover. The food, fucking 2 bob, bring your own in, unless they absolutely say you can't because of cross-contamination if you end up in an isolation unit for a while. But more than that, I used to have my food brought in from my daughter and Florence, my ex, and friends used to bring in, and I just ate fresh. And it's fairly simple: brown rice, turkey, or mince, or whatever, heavily seasoned, because your taste can go a bit funny. But I'm digressing. NHS, fantastic. Back to politics again. So where am I now? Hopefully, should be getting my own place soon, and that's looking good. Work-wise, well, I'll get something. I'm not stupid. And as I alluded to, even in a fantasy moment of me, I don't know if I wanted my license back because I'm fit enough for it. Too much stress. And that's what I will say. Don't let stress define you. Really, really don't. Maybe easy for me to say now. People go, arsehole. But hey, you know. And also, past a certain age, and I think past 50, if you're hustling, take a real look at where you're going or where you want to go. When you're younger, of course, I understand that you want to do this, you want to do that, blah, blah, blah. That's healthy. Past 50, all right, you can have the ambition, you can have the drive, but get a bit realistic. And in your 55, 60, and I can only go back to the trade that I used to do, I do despair. Because I think in a lot of traditional working class jobs, the London licensed black cab driver is unique in mentality, and some of them are still institutionalized, as I call it. They're still chasing this pound note. Bizarre, even when they've had a perfect scenario, married to the same woman, kids off hand, no mortgage, but they're still doing 5, 6, 7 days a week. God, talk about Billy fucking no, mate. Anyway, love and peace to everyone, I think it is. Everything's fine and dandy. So for those that think, oh, you never fucking told me. A lot of people there, I'm not the only one, have had many loved ones. My first wife sadly passed on today, all those years ago. All of us have had shit to deal with. So why didn't I tell? It wasn't a secret as such. Well, everyone knows now. Make your own judgment. You can get in touch and all the rest. It wasn't a snub or anything, but how many people do I know? God knows. Many. Lots of friends, acquaintances. And it's good. It's all good. And you even look at people around it you thought you knew and you didn't, and the liars and the cheats and everything like that. And you know what, as I said before, fuck it. Just be happy, even though I'm not smiling. Hang on, shall I attempt to smile? Oh. And that's it, really. So, oh, by the way. Oh, this is it. I've been bullied. Yeah, I'm just staying at my lovely cuz place at the moment. I just went in the street and someone called me the N-word and then did this, and they posted it on social media, and it was crowdfunding and money was raised because I've got no money myself and I need it. And, you know, people have been picking on me. And is it because I was black? I sort of said. And they went, no, it's because you're an arsehole. But notwithstanding that, I'd like some money because I think I deserve it. I've got no money because I never listened in the past and spunked it all. Have a good day, people. Take care. And as I said, be happy. Christ, that wasn't a bad record when you think about it, the beats on those. So be happy. Gwen, bullied by who? It was a joke. It was a joke. I'm just now explaining to my cousin who's put something on it. Bullied by who? So she's avidly watching in the Gambia, 30 degrees and sunny. Yeesh. It was a joke that I was having a dig at that little Syrian refugee, boo-hoo-hoo-hoo, that allegedly, and bullying's wrong, got bullied, but there was some crowdfunding by well-wishers, raised £100,000. for him and his family. So what I was trying to do was relate to that, to hold my hand out to get some money. That's it. Don't bother stewing your teeth. Right, take care. All's looking good. Let's all have a happy time. Just relax, just chill. So, as I said, any money? I'll tell you what I would like, really, because I got no shame when this comes to me. I'd like someone to send me a ticket. I can't go to the Gambia because of this medical thing until this time next year, which I really wish my father came from, which I'd like to travel. It's all about me now, people. What I'd actually... yes, it's hot, Gwen. Yes, yeah. Hot. Too hot, my ass. Anyway, hopefully this time next year I'll be there. But I'd like everyone to get together, and I'll go down to Spain for about 3 weeks. Malaga, then go down to Costa Sol. That would be nice, yeah. So if everyone out there that is so concerned about my mental and my social welfare and my development could all, I don't know, chip in 20 quid, that's nothing for you lot that work. A grand should cover it. Yeah. All right then, one day at a time. Well done, Peter. Yeah, I'll come and see you. I'm just begging I'm begging now for this social fund, crowdfunding. All right. Well, hopefully you review it. Everyone stay positive. And it is one day at a time, or 1 hour. And be happy. And, yeah, there's a lot more I could say, but I won't. But the message is out